Welcome to the Moving Past You radio show, a show about identifying, confronting, and embracing the obstacles that block and delay us in walking in our divine purpose. Each week, we delve into the complexities and rewards of walking in your purpose. Now, here's your host, Juanita Gaynor.
Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, hello, hello. Season 4 is definitely upon us. I am so grateful with how God is moving into this new season. And I have some amazing women who will be joining me to talk about the various things that I've taught on, discussed, or whatever. And now you get the privilege and the opportunity to hear from others who can speak to your soul and speak to your spirit. So I am so excited. So today's guest, oh my goodness, she is just a ray of light. Today's guest is going to be Miss Andrea Billett, and she's an author, transformation coach, and she is also the founder of the Love Project. And today we're going to be talking about Love, Thrive, Shine. Now, A.G. Billick is a published author, transformational coach, and motivational speaker dedicated to empowering women and men to live happy and meaningful life by unleashing the love within themselves. A women's fiction and self-empowerment author, A.G. grew up under the communist regime in Romania, surrounded by books, music, and the love of her parents. She completed her first novel at 15 and as a child prodigy won multiple national literary awards. Her quest for finding her life purpose led to the experience of various things: radio host, TV host, PR expert, and travel the world. It was during an initiatic pilgrimage to Amanhã, Brazil, that she found the answer. She was destined to be an ambassador of love through her writings and teachings. Shortly after, MP Publishing from the UK gave her a book deal, and she started speaking at conferences in Ireland and the US. Four Doors and Other Stories, published in 2012, was followed by 3 nonfiction books: I Choose Love, A Journey from Fear to Love, 5 Easy Steps to Ending and Toxic Relationship, Unplug the Negativity Cord and Jumpstart Your Emotional Healing, and Open Heart, Rise in Love, 6 Secret Doors to a Healthy and Happy Relationship. Oh, I'm loving that already. AG holds a BA in Foreign Languages and Literatures and a Master's in PR and Communication. Her passion for understanding human nature at its core led her to studying NLP, Sylvia Method, and Reiki, which she combines in her own insights and life experience to help women open their hearts, love what they do, and love who they are. She also created and heads a self-publishing mastery, a platform designed to help authors make the world a kinder place, one book at a time, and voted for 3 consecutive years one of the top blogs on self-publishing. Her journey of love and finding life purpose brought her to California, USA, where she lives now, loves nature, animals, and hugging trees, and enjoys dancing. Trees are lovely. I like them too. You know, she can photography, listening to music, reading and exploring new places, and connecting with people. So join me as we welcome Miss A.G. Billick.
Wow.
Hi, how beautiful are you?
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for doing this podcast. It's so amazing that you dedicate your time, energy to connecting people and to empowering them. I salute you, I admire you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, again, as I was reading your bio, and of course we had talked previous, I was just excited about your life, how you've lived, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and the ray of light. Just your smile is just a ray of sunshine. And so I get joy even in speaking to you, because then I know that what you're bringing is going to be, life altering, life changing for the best, you know. And so today we're going to be talking about love, thrive, shine.
Yes.
Um, how when you gave me that, as
Mhm.
a topic, it was like I was intrigued. Um,
Mhm.
with your experiences, with how you've done things, how are those intertwined in your story and how you deliver?
Oh wow, that's such a great and complex question. Thank you. I was you mentioned the project of love. So this is an idea I had a while ago when I wrote I Choose Love, a Journey from Fear to Love. It wasn't just a book. It was supposed to be something bigger than a book, something that would actually impact people's lives for the better. So I had this idea for the project of love as a platform where we can connect. People from all over the world can connect and actually share their experiences of love, because love is something that we typically search for outside. And that's what I've been doing. I've been searching for love my whole life in all the wrong places. That's what they say. And there is nothing wrong or there is nothing really right. It's just our perspective. But love is something that it's within us. It's our superpower. So when we get disconnected from that knowing, and we forget that actually love and kindness, our innate traits, our innate attributes as human beings. So please keep this in mind. And if you look deeply into your heart, you will see. Oh, now I get the chills, really, in a good way. But if you look deeply into your heart, you will find love and you will find kindness. This is what makes us humans, not our ego-driven behaviors, but love and kindness, because we are part of the God source energy, and we are like God. So God is love, love is kindness. That's what we are, and this is our inner superpower. This is a frequency. This is an energy. Everything in the universe, in this universe, is energy. So when we remember this is also a journey of remembrance. When we remember this and we reclaim this inner superpower, which is acceptance, which is joy, which is divine abundance, which is creativity, which is gratitude. There are all these beautiful, beautiful states, and Tony Robbins refers to them as as beautiful states. So all those states are within us. That's what we are. That's who we are. So when we reclaim this high vibration, positive states, we actually reclaim our power back. We come to the essence of who we are. We come back to our core again, which is love and kindness and joy and divine abundance and health and prosperity and gratitude and being accepting of everything there is, because everything there is, it is interconnected. And we are all connected as human beings, and we are connected with Mother Earth and with the entire universe. So when we get into that space of love and we kind of forget or erase all the other ideas that have been planted into our minds by education, by life experiences, by entertainment. I mean, there are so many songs out there, beautiful songs that say, "Oh, love hurts." All these bad things about love, right? How love destroys our life, which is not true. It is quite the opposite. So when we get back into our hearts, and we find the love that's already there, then we kind of get into the flow. We are in what we call the zone. So we are in flow in life. We no longer battle life, and we are in in tune with our true essence. Because all spiritual teachers agree that it is really hard to thrive in this life. It is really hard to occupy that place that only you and I mean, can occupy this life. We are all born with a very specific gift, several gifts, but there is one specific gift that we are supposed to express in this life. And we cannot access that gift unless we remember this inner superpower, which is love, until we allow ourselves to be our authentic selves. So once we remember this, once we tap into that, into this superpower, which is love, again, energy. And love can be, we have romantic, it has so many faces, right? Romantic love, love what we do, love other people, love who we are. So once we tap into this inner superpower, then we can finally be authentic. We can finally thrive, because what's life if we are not authentic? What's life if we don't express our true gift? What's life if we don't follow our calling? We all have a calling within us. Our soul beckons us. Go there, do this. This is what you're meant to be. This is why you're here. You're supposed to do this. But then all this programming in our minds tells us, oh, you can't do that. You're not good enough. You're going to starve. No, you can't do that. Other people are doing. So, all those limiting beliefs and ideas. So once we just take them apart and realize those are just illusions, then we can finally thrive as human beings, and we can be who we are supposed to be. And then we actually, become a beacon of light, and then we can shine, because now we have the confidence, we have the faith that we can be who we are supposed to be, and we see beyond what's available to us with our five senses. We see our vision. We are very clear on our vision, and finally we can shine. So that's the sequence. That's love, thrive, shine. And actually, it came to me when I was searching for a tagline for the project of love, and I was like, what would be the best way to express what this project is all about? And then this came to me one morning: love, thrive, shine. So find your inner superpower, which is love. Allow yourself to nourish you at every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, because it is a healing power. I mean, it is proven already. So let this power, that this inner superpower, nourish you in every aspect of your being, and then just shine into the world who you are. Let it shine. Let it make a difference.
Oh my God, that is amazing, especially on the aspect of love. I think that is something that everyone struggles with, even myself, because it's true. You have to love yourself. You have to let the inner love for yourself, and you have to nourish that and let it shine. Because if you love other people and you don't love yourself, that is never going to work. It's never going to work. You're always going to be kind of searching for that.
I want to say something that might shock people, but
Yes.
I think it's really complicated. It's really complicated, and maybe I don't think it's even possible to be able to love another person until you have that love for yourself.
Right. And see, I want you to just maybe go a little bit deeper into that one, because I think so many people feel that if we pour out, we run ourselves ragged, pour out to someone else, we're doing God's work, we're doing our purpose work. I want you to go a little bit deeper, like how that's not true, like how not loving yourself really is a detriment to your call and maybe your purpose, because you're not nourishing you. You can just speak on just from your experiences and what you've seen so far, in reference to that.
Well, it's we do often, and especially women, right? We tend to do the right thing. We tend to be to nurture other people, because That's partly that's our nature, and we can't stifle that, but also because we are being conditioned to do it. And then, you know, I've seen situations of women where they give and they give and they give, and then they are filled with resentment, because perhaps perhaps the giving is not happening actually from the heart. True giving happens from the heart. It's a gift of the heart. So we have to be really, really aware in every moment of our thoughts, of our emotions, of our actions, and see where are they coming from. Are they coming from a place of fear or from a place of love? And coming from a place of fear is coming from the mind. It's like, okay, if I'm not going to be a good mother, if I'm not going to be a mother, then I'm doing something wrong, because this is not something that that's something that society tells me that it's wrong. So I'm going to do it. And I'm going to, and again, ladies, I love you and I admire you. Please don't, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just being an observer, and I'm trying to shed some light on something that might happen or might not. But and then you go like, okay, my mind tells me I need to give, I need to give, I need to give, and then I get resentment, because actually when I do it from the mind, which is the ego always wants something in return. So if I don't get that something I expect in return, I would get resentful, and then I will get drained also, because I'm not really honoring myself and I'm not really honoring my soul. So the outer world is typically a reflection of our inner world. So when we are not able to honor ourselves and to give ourselves what our hearts and soul want, not the ego, is not about being selfish or, instant gratification, or, getting stuff, or no, it's just listening to the calling of your heart. And maybe your heart is telling you, you know what, you don't need to be a CEO in a corporation. You'd be happier, being on a farm and tending to the land, but you're not listening to that because you think that's what you need to be as a woman or as a man. So then an emptiness that's inside, despite all the possessions. So I don't know if I answered the question, but um, how can we really, the question is, how can we really honor and give to another person when we cannot give to ourselves? And I surprise myself, because I have my mind is always buzzing with new ideas, and now I'm in a phase in my life when I'm kind of transitioning into a new way of being and doing things and creating and showing myself up in the world. And I had all these ideas, and I had a few days where I couldn't really do anything, because they were like a mountain in front of me, and I didn't know what to do first. And you should have heard my inner dialogue. I was so harsh on myself. I was like talking to myself in a way that I would never talk to my best friend. And we need to be able to show this compassion to ourselves, to acknowledge our gifts, to be aware of things that we want to improve, but accept them, and take it from there.
See, that's amazing. And you did answer the question and some more. And this is the type of transparency that women and business owners need. I think so many look at us and be like, oh, they have it all together. They don't struggle with, self-identity. They don't struggle with their purpose. And so in us talking about this and us being just vulnerable, it can show other people that, wait a minute, they still have those issues, but this is how they're working through them. Because I think this must have been a week for that, because this week was a little just wonky, and it's just
like me too. Yeah, exactly.
Because like, what, I got all this stuff to do. I know what I'm supposed to do, and because I was just in this mind space, and what I just didn't realize is like I needed rest.
Yeah.
And it was like the reason why, God wasn't allowing me to be creative or let the flow. It was because I needed rest. My body needed rest. And it was like, I'm just going to block whatever you got going on until you do what your body needs and what your soul needs. And for so many women and even men who are going through that, sometimes it's a matter of those things are being blocked for the protection of you.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And you so eloquently stated that, like, you
Yeah.
sometimes we can't move to the next step because we have to deal with us. We have to pour back into us, love us, and then we can serve the rest. So you answered that perfectly. I thank you for
Oh,
that.
and one more thing, we need to read. I totally believe in the inner guidance. So I know right now we are so blessed to have all these books and all these online courses and all these events and all this stuff where we can go and we can go and we can go forever and ever for the rest of our lives to learn things and to hear people and guides and spiritual teachers and to telling us where to go, how to do it. But there is always this inner guidance. And I think it's time for, all of us
Mhm.
to learn how to listen to what's within the inner knowing, that unwavering knowing where you don't need proof, you don't need like the mind is silenced, and we don't need that proof anymore. We just know. And I can tell you from my own experience, whenever I follow that, it never fails me. It's always right.
Yes. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't always follow it. And
Oh,
sometimes it
me.
leads me to craziness.
I
Um,
don't,
because again, we still think we know. We go and we're operating, as you so eloquently said, from ego. And I never thought about it that way. And it was just like, okay, it's in my mind, I'm gonna do it that way. But the ego and the inner heart, inner soul of the heart, they can't coexist. That's why anything that the ego does, it's always chaotic. It always leads to craziness.
be-
So
because
I've been
ego is
there.
based on fear.
Yeah.
So, and fear will always, fear is something that contracts us. So it's not like love is expansion, love is growth, love is freedom, love is inspiration. And by the way, very, very important, this connection with the God source energy, great spirit, whatever you want to call it, the intelligence, because that's our support line. And Wayne Dyer so beautifully speaks about it as intention. So connecting to the power of intention,
Yeah.
connecting to this energy that creates everything. And love is part of. He says like love, kindness, beauty, creativity are part of the intention of God. So.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to ask you, why do you do what you do?
Oh,
When you when you wake up, whatever, like, what's the driving force of why you do what you do?
I'm happier that lately. Before I'll be honest, because I think it is important for us to be honest and be authentic, because that the more of us do it, then the more people have the courage to be authentic and look deeply within themselves. Uh, my motivation force, the main force for many years for me was fear. I think I was in a state of survival where I thought, okay, I need to do this to make money, and so that was the driving force. But lately, and by the way, I have to say, the bio says California. I've been so blessed to be in Sedona for the past year. So I'm in Sedona, Arizona. Yeah, yeah. And this is a land conducive to to meditation and connecting with God and taking a deep look within yourself. So while I was here, like for the past year, there was a lot of transformation, and lately is like, how can I be of service? How can I use my gifts to serve other people? How can I what words can I speak? What stories can I write that can actually empower people to find their inner knowing and their inner compass, and actually thrive in their lives and be really sovereign and independent, and also realize that we are all connected, and that if we realize that, and then if we come together and if we treat each other like brother and sisters, which we are in spirit.
Yeah.
then we are invincible, really.
We are. We are. So what I get from that is we've gotten to you that you got to a level of healing where what was once driving you was no longer driving you.
No, no,
Um, you
no.
had gotten to a place of healing where you could transform and then change and shift how life was. Because I think so many times we do things out of trauma and out of, the things, whatever. And so once we heal,
Yeah.
it no longer, that's not what's driving us anymore. And some people get lost. And I'm gonna switch up just a little bit with this question. Um, when you got to that healing spot and realized that you no longer needed to survive, that you were in a thriving state, um, did that make you uncomfortable? How did you navigate that and then shift so that you can be what you're doing now?
Well, it's still, I mean, there are still moments. I'm not going to say that, oh, now I'm like all the way past that, and but it's easier to be in that space. And it's also it's important to make a decision, because I think when that helps the mind also. I mean, we cannot ignore the mind and the heart and the body, they need to work together.
Yes.
So that's why they teach us in Silva method, about affirmations. Um, all those positive affirmations, they are wonderful and they can yield results, but you cannot lie to the mind. So if somebody is in a state, if they are just getting by and are going to use an affirmation saying, I'm a millionaire, this is not going to work, because the mind won't believe that. But if you say, my finances are getting better and better every day, this is something the mind can accept, because this is possible. Even if you find 50 cents in the street, on the pavement, and you get it, well, your finances got better, so it doesn't have to be. So this is the way to go step by step by step. But I didn't answer the question.
But you
It,
did.
yeah, but I want to say, you just be present with because what we did was what we tend to do, especially when our emotions are uncomfortable or feelings are uncomfortable. We tend to, and I used to do that, just do something else to forget about it and not sit with it. So when you get into the space where again the fear grips you, like, oh, how are you going to survive? You're not going to survive. You need to work a job you hate, because otherwise you can. One way is to sit with that emotion and see if it's real or not. Just
Mhm.
accept it and embrace it. Um, the other thing is just find your connection with the source, and cultivate that faith, and know that when you are on your path, on your destiny, you're going to be supported. You might not see it now if you look at your bank account, but the power of intention combined with the mind and the desire of your heart, it's so powerful that
Mhm.
you'll be taken care of. And then there are so many, just look at, I like to look at stories of people who follow their heart and follow their passion, and they were able to thrive in life. And Wayne Dyer is such a great example, because he used to be, and he inspired me actually to finally decide to do the project of love, because he had a tenure as a professor at a university. He had a
Mhm.
really comfortable life, and then he decided to give up everything and put the books in his car, and then he started driving across the US to talk about his books. And then he got on TV shows, radio shows. So he was helped, because that was his path. And there are so many other examples. Lori Led, I helped her with her book, The Divine Design, and all she's doing, she's got this great impact in the world, and all she's doing is organic on social media, and she's got
Yeah.
about 1 million people, because she's authentic, she's walking her talk, she's doing her thing. So just look at these people, and that's what I do. I look at all these people. I look at authors who are self-published and who are you know being successful with their books. That's what I choose to look at. And I always look for people who are following their heart, following their calling to see and be, and that's something I had to work on, to believe in myself
Mm-hmm.
and to trust, to have faith. Okay, if I'm going to listen to my inner knowing and my inner guidance, I'm going to be taken where I need to. And I don't know all the steps, and you might not know all the steps. It's one step at a time, but each step will be revealed in perfect timing.
That is amazing. Thank you for that. So, and that I think that shifts nicely into the next question I have for you. And that is, how can, individuals kind of identify and understand those underlying, those root causes, that contribute to their fear, whether it's of success, whether it's healing. How can they can identify some of those?
Well, I think that's a life's work. I don't know if any of us can do it in a lifetime, because if we did, we would be like Buddha or Jesus. But um, I think it's very important. The first step is to acknowledge. Okay, there is something within me that prevents me to thrive and shine. What is that? And usually there are things that happen during our childhood. There is something always that happens in our childhood, like a major wound or trauma. And then if we don't acknowledge that, then we are going to, because as I said earlier, the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So we are going to attract into our lives situations that are going to point us to that thing that happened, to that trauma, which is Lise Bourbeau. She's a French author. She has a book of, and she talks about abandonment, rejection, betrayal, humiliation, and there's one more I can't remember. But there are 5 big traumas that happen during childhood, and then we keep attracting situations that point us to that so we can heal it. So if we don't heal it, then there more things are going to stack one on top of another. So it's about taking this journey back and see, okay, what happened that is actually the root of the problem. And then all those, the programs, it's important to look at what we regarding money. If we grew up in a family where, money is the root of all evil, so where we heard stuff like that, then there is probably an inner resistance against money.
Yeah.
So when we have resistance, we are not going to attract money into our lives, no matter how much we try. And money is not bad or good. Money is energy. It's all about what we do with it. So it's changing the perspective on things that helps. And so this is another thing that you can do. And also tapping into this inner power, into your love, so you can be your authentic self. Because in that moment, you know exactly which path you're supposed to go, and then you're able to have a clear vision of your life. And then I think that's when you become unstoppable. But if you don't have that, if you're just doing something because you've been programmed to do it, because society tells that's what you're supposed to be, because you just want to be accepted and fit into your group, that's not going to work. And I think these are some of the things that people can do to overcome whatever they need to overcome. Plus, we are creatures of habit. So even when a situation is really uncomfortable, the discomfort of stepping into the unknown is sometimes bigger than the discomfort we experience in a current situation. And let's say because you mentioned healing, a person who is sick or has a problem, maybe that actually is in their life because they think that's the only way they can get the attention and the love of other people, because right when somebody is sick, we tend to gravitate around that person
Yeah.
and give them our attention, and so unconsciously that's a way to attract, to get love and get attention. So,
Wow.
okay, now if I let go of my sickness, because by the way, my belief is based on what I've read, and Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza and other people, who that our bodies have this innate ability to heal themselves if we only let
Yeah.
them. So if I heal myself, now I'm going to be healthy. Oh, I'm not going to get the love and attention. Oh my, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if I'm going to be successful, oh my god, I'm going to have so much responsibility. I'm going to have money, and I'm so bad with money, I don't know how to manage money. And I'm going to be in the spotlight, and everybody's going to see me. Wow, that's
Yeah.
going to be too much. Why? And if I'm going to be successful, people are going to reject me. And Tony Robbins has a story about that, when he became successful and he wanted to, spoil his friends with trips and things, and kind of his friends backed off because they felt uncomfortable. And then in his mind, it was like, okay, so if I'm doing well financially, then my friends are going to reject me. So he had a time where he lost money and he wasn't able to make money.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. That does happen constantly because I know it for me. It does, it did. It was, okay, well, people don't like me or they don't want to be around me or they feel that I'm too uppity. So, I'm just going to stay in this low place
no,
because it's as a term that I use, this is like I'll be comfortable with the crazy I know versus
hmm,
the crazy I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
And so, the crazy you don't know can be so successful and so, out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But because, you're scared of rejection and you want attention, you stay with the crazy which is not good for you at all.
No, no, because we are here to grow, really. I mean, at least that's how yesterday evening I met a friend, and for dinner, and then I've been in Sedona, as I said, for a year, but I still have so many trails, so many places to discover. And at the end of the after our dinner, I didn't feel like going back home, and I saw a road uphill Schnebly, and I said, okay, I want to go there. And it was one of the most beautiful places I've seen in Sedona, with a beautiful, almost full moon. I was there until 9:30. I was the only
Oh,
person in the parking lot. I was dancing with the wind. It was magical. And the simple fact of going to a new place and expanding, my horizon and listening to my heart, it made me so happy. So just do something that you don't usually do. Step right into your fear. I don't mean go, in a bad neighborhood at night. That's not all I mean. But
right.
you're afraid of public speaking, just join Toastmasters and go up on stage and do that, because that's growth, that's expansion, and that's going to boost your self-confidence for sure, because it will show you that you're so capable of so many things.
That is wonderful. So, as we wind down, I want you to go more into the project of love, and because you went into it a little bit, what is the future of it? What I know it's coming forward and things like
Yeah,
that. But I want you this. I want to give you this opportunity to really talk about that. What you got planned. What's coming down the pike with that, because I believe it's such an amazing project and I'm looking forward to eventually being a part of it if you would
yeah,
have me. But
yeah.
I want to give you this opportunity to really tell our listeners and our viewers what that is about, what's coming forth with it, and like kind of how, I feel that this is the ultimate baby for you,
Yeah,
that
I
this
think
is
that,
come
yeah,
together. So I
yeah.
want to give you that opportunity to really go into that and tell, the listeners and the viewers more about the project and what to expect from it.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So the project of love is, oh my God. you know, it's a platform, um, which I I'm co-creating with you, because it's an idea that stemmed in my mind, but this is an idea for humanity. This is an idea for all of us, and it's 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 a platform that will empower all of us, no matter where we are in our lives, to have an abundance of love in our lives, and to love ourselves, to love what we do, and to love our lives, so that we can thrive and we can shine as our authentic selves. So for now, you can find this project of love at project of love, theprojectoflove.com. And the vision for this project of love is to it has different parts. An important part of it is a documentary about love, actually a docu-series, which will have like a pilot episode. And we'll do a US tour, the Project of Love. So we will have screenings of the documentary. Some of the speakers will be available for Q&As. I envision also having pop art shows when we do the screening, where artists embody this idea of love. Exactly what I was telling earlier, so many songs and books talk about love in a negative way, which is an illusion. So portray that. And we'll also have a book series about love and healing, love and prosperity, love and romance. So different faces of love shown through real stories, through people's voices, and through their stories about love. Online courses, blog posts, what else? Coaching, all this stuff will be available on the Project of Love and .com, plus a series of little things like t-shirts and other things which will empower us and remind us of the power of love. So that's it. It's still like it's like a seed, but and a podcast. So yeah, I would definitely love to have you and to be part of it, because you embody the idea of loving what you do. So you are the perfect example of how everything unfolds and comes together, and how a person can be supported when they are following their calling. So I wish, my vision is that by the end of 2024, so next year, we'll have like about 1 million ambassadors of love. What's an ambassador of love? When you are kind to someone, when you smile to someone, when you help an old lady cross the street, when you help someone in need, when you find a stray dog which is wounded, and you take it to the vet. So all these acts of love and kindness turn you into an ambassador of love. And I want to hear the stories. That's the other thing, because we hear all this bad stuff and news about, oh, the world is such a dangerous and crazy place. It can be, it can be not. Right. So I'd love to hear stories from you. If you have a story of you and you and you and you, all of you who are watching and listening now, if you have a story that you'd like to share, a story about love, a story about the transformative power of love, about the healing power of love, please share it. Let's put it out there. Let's tell your story of love to the world. And again, it's not just romantic love. Maybe it's a friend, it's a family, it's your community, it's your coworker, it's what you love, it's your relationship with money. And by the way, if we don't love money, money won't come to us. And it's not like loving money to hoard them, just right. Loving this energy of money, because when we use it wisely, it can make such a big difference into our lives and other people's life. We can use the money to change lives.
Yes, absolutely. Oh goodness, I'm so excited for the project. I really, really am.
You.
So, for those who are listening and watching, if you're watching, you can see the website on the screen. But if you're listening, it is theprojectoflove.com. So if you're interested in joining the platform, ideas and things like that, you can
Yeah,
reach out
yeah.
to AG there. And as well as your Facebook, because you're on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, that's I had another Facebook page, and
Mhm.
Facebook just wiped it out, so this is new.
Okay.
And you can also find me on Instagram, AGB League author. Yeah, so that's where I am, and you can send me a message there, and then on the Project of Love there is a contact form. So if you go there, you can just click a button and it'll take you to the form. And I'll be really happy and grateful to hear from you again and your love story. Let me know. And yeah, let's spread the world. Let's
Absolutely.
let's get 1 million people too. Because one thing I know we are running out of time, but it's all about Mahatma Gandhi said it, and then Michael Jackson said it. I love Michael Jackson. Man in the mirror, it starts within. I was talking to a friend and he was saying, "Oh, the world is such a violent, it's going, it's going astray and it's going south and things are." And I said, what we are supposed to do is stay in that kindness, be kind and be loving, stay in the space. And then the more of us stay in this space, all that goes into the collective consciousness. So when we reach the critical mass, things will turn around.
Awesome.
So it's all up to you.
That is so wonderful. I thank you
Oh,
for just agreeing to join us because again, like I said, your love and your light, the light that you emanate is so beautiful and it illuminates. So I'm grateful to have you, on my platform to share with my people as
thank you.
well.
Thank
And
you.
so, for those who didn't know the Project of Love, I want you to go there.
Oh my
I
God, thank
want you to join the contact. Now, if you say, okay, we can't find her, whatever, y'all know where my website is. Like, send me a
you.
message and
Okay.
I will get it over to her because I think this is so very important. We
Yeah,
talk about everything else, we promote everything else, but we have to promote love. With everything that is going on, we have to
yeah,
promote love. We
yeah,
have to promote love. We have to learn how to thrive in it because if we don't, we can't shine.
yeah. And we need to come together.
Yes.
And I know the differences between us are so pushed into our faces by mass media and all that. It doesn't matter. Education, skin color, gender. Beyond this facade, we are all children of God. We are all divine. We are all connected. So
Yes.
let's embrace this kind of the thing that unites us, and let's accept that other people can have a different opinion. They can have different preferences. That doesn't make them bad. That doesn't make them our enemies.
No.
Let's not allow anybody to divide us. Let's come together.
And I am so going to end on that note because that was the perfect ending. AG, I thank you for joining us for this informative and loving show because again, I'm excited and we're going to do everything to come together to get these 1 million ambassadors of love.
Yay!
We're gonna do that. We definitely going to do that. Thank
Thank
you
you so much.
so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, thank you for this evening. Again, you can find us on our website, www.movingpastyou.com. If you have, I've put all of our speakers' information up. If you have any issue with, Ketchner, reach out to us and we'll make sure all communication and things are passed. And of course, for season 4, the date has changed. We used to do Thursdays at 7 p.m. and we are now Fridays at 7 p.m. So meet us every Friday at 7 p.m. for a new episode. So, it's no longer Thursdays. We're back on Fridays. But thank you for having us. Thank you for being a part of this amazing thing. And you have an amazing, amazing evening. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Moving Past You radio show. Make sure to visit our website at www.movingpastyou.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes. If you found value in the show, rate us on iTunes or simply tell a friend about the show. And be sure to tune in next Friday for our next episode. And remember to always be kind in your word, your thought, and in your deed. Be blessed.